Hey guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Screen back again with another video. If you're new, you're welcome. Please hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you turn the post notification bell on. I'm a new immigrant in Canada, and on this channel I'll be sharing with you guys my experience here in Canada, how I came into Canada, and other immigration options you can exploit. If you're not new, you're welcome yet again to my channel. Thank you very much for watching all my videos. If you're here to subscribe, please do so right away. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Please make sure you always like, comment, and share with your friends. In today's video, I'll be talking about how much it costs to come to Canada and how much you need for proof of fund. Before I get started, it's Independence Day in Nigeria. If you don't know, I'm a Nigerian, and yes, as you can see, I've got my green sweater on, my green pants. You know how it is, it's ripped, you know, and my Nigerian flag as well. I'm a typical Nigerian, and I hope one day it gets better for us in Nigeria so that every one of us could maybe at least go back home and do a thing or two, but still loving Nigeria from abroad. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. Happy 59 years of independence. I pray and hope it gets better one day for us in Nigeria. So let's get started about today's video. Let me put this right here in this video. This flag is going to follow us to the end of this video. So let's get started. I'll be talking about how much it costs to come to Canada from the scratch to the finish. So if you enjoy watching this video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're here to subscribe, do so right away. A brief disclaimer: all the details and costs I'll be sharing in this video are what is applicable as at today's date. The cost might change by tomorrow and might be influenced by exchange rates in your country or wherever you're watching this video from. Let's jump right into the video. The very first cost you would likely incur is for IELTS, and that's the English test examination you take to prove your language proficiency. If you are taking for British Council, the test is 75,000 naira, and if you are taking for MOD, that's IDP Australia, the test costs 68,000 naira, and I'm aware the test it's going to be increased to 75,000 naira in this month of October. So watch out for it, but I think as of today it's still 68,000 naira. If you don't pass your test and you have to do a remark, for British Council it costs 15,000 naira, and for MOD it costs 46,000 naira. Moving on to ECA, Educational Credential Assessment. For WES it costs $200 Canadian dollars to evaluate your documents, and it costs about $14 to $40 to courier it down to you. So that's $200 plus $14 or $40, depending on if they are delivering it locally or they are going to deliver it to your country. So whichever one, it varies. It's not particularly static. So let's say for WES you're going to spend between $214 to $240. For IQAS and ICES, you are likely going to spend $200 per document and about $70 for courier. So the cost ranges between $200 to $400 depending on the number of documents you are evaluating. The cost of sending your transcript to the evaluating body depends on the logistic company or the courier company you'll be using. For the likes of FedEx, DHL, UPS, and all others, they cost between 14,500 naira to 26,000 naira to courier a document from Nigeria to Canada. But if you are going to use Nine Post takes about 3 weeks and it costs 1,850. Of course, don't expect change. They don't return change except to go there with the exact amount of money. I doubt you'll be able to get change. And of course, you just want to let go of 250, you know. Also, thankfully, you no longer need to evaluate your secondary school certificate, that's your WAEC, anymore, because it has been cancelled by WES. Just send your certificate from your school. And the cost of sending your transcripts from your school depends on school to school, depends on institution to institution. So some schools might charge, I don't know, 15k, 20k, and some schools might likely do it for you for the exact amount, and some schools will just hand over your document to you to courier it by yourself. So in that case, you would have to fall back to using either of FedEx or DHL or UPS. Either of them would deliver your document safely down to Canada. Lastly, some schools charge for sending transcripts to like the cost of getting your transcript in your school. Some schools, like my own school, I think I had to pay 9,000 naira, an additional 10,000 naira for DHL to Canada. Some schools charge for the transcript and some schools don't charge. It depends on the school you finish from, your university or your college, as the case may be. Depend on the school you finish from, that will determine the cost of getting your transcript and the cost of couriering it down from your school to WES or whichever evaluating body you're using. Also, the cost of police clearance certificate. So if you're getting police clearance certificate in Lagos, it ranges from 4,000 naira to about 6,000 naira, depending on your bargaining power. If you are doing it in Abuja, it costs almost 10,000 naira. I think Abuja people have money, so you know, but if you're able to bargain very well, you can get it as low as 7k, 5k. It differs. It's not like particularly static. So depending on your bargaining power, you might be able to get a cheaper amount, but the least you ever get it is 4,000. For medicals, it depends on the clinic you use. For IOM Lagos and Abuja, they charge 41,400 naira for both adults and children. And for Q Life charges 35,000 naira for children from age 14 to 0 years, and from 15 and above they charge between 31k to 35k. So depending on the age range, you know how much you're going to be paying for your medicals. Moving on to biometric costs 85 Canadian dollars per person and 170 Canadian dollars for family of 2 and above. So if you are doing it with your spouse and kids, it's probably going to be $170, and if you are the only one doing it, like a single applicant like I was, it's going to be 85 Canadian dollars. The cost of processing fee, the processing fee for your application costs 550 Canadian dollars, and the cost of RPRF cost 490 Canadian dollars. So the RPRF is actually refundable if your application gets denied. Of course, we're not praying for any of that, but I just needed to mention that the RPRF is refundable. The proof of funds depends on family size, so I'll be getting into that in a minute. In the meantime, let me talk about my own personal experience and how much it cost me. I spent 182,000 naira in summary for IELTS, and that was because I wrote the test twice. I wrote it both times using MOD, and I did a remark for 46,000 naira, although the result remained unchanged, but that was the total amount I spent on IELTS, 182,000 naira. For my ECA, it cost me about 140,000 naira to complete my ECA, and this is because I sent 2 documents and I had to also send them by using UPS twice. And I had to send them by using UPS twice, and that was after I used NIPOS for my ATS transcript that wasn't delivered, and I had to send it again using UPS, and that cost another 14,000 naira. That was even not in my budget. In total, I spent 140,000 naira to evaluate my BSc degree and my AAT degree, and that took about 5 months. Very long story. Go and watch it in my ECA video. If you are yet to see my ECA video, I'll link it up here. You can go check it out. And also for my police clearance certificate, I spent 4,000 naira. For my medicals, I used IOM Lagos, and I spent 41,000 for my RPRF biometrics and application. It was $1,125, and that was a total of 314,000 as at that time. Also, the cost of flights coming into Canada depends on the airline you're using. I used Egypt Air, and cost for the flight, although I booked 2 months earlier, it was $614, I guess, 614 Canadian dollars. You can convert that to naira. And the cost for my Airbnb, I booked 1 month before landing, and that was $515 for 20 nights. I stayed in Mississauga, so I landed in Mississauga, so it was like so much cheaper. As you can see, I moved into a new house. If you look, the background is different from where I was like in my previous videos. So this is my new apartment. I'll probably do an apartment tour later on in subsequent videos. So that's about it. In total, I spent, and calculator, give me the figure. I'll put it down here. When I calculate it, I'll put the amount down here. And for proof of fund, I had money in my bank account. So let's talk about proof of fund. One of the minimum requirements to come to Canada is to be able to show that you have enough money to sustain yourself or to support yourself when you come to Canada. And this money must be in your account as at the time of application, when your application is approved, and at the point of entry. So some people So for some people at the port of entry, they've been sent back to their home country because they didn't have that money that they showed in their account as at the date of application or approval of the application. So they were sent back home because they couldn't provide that money at the port of entry. So you don't want that to be you. You definitely don't want that to be you. Make sure you have your complete money at the port of entry. You may be asked, I was not asked, you may be asked and you may not be asked, but be sure to have that money in your account. If you are unable to show proof of fund and the minimum amount of money required for you to come to Canada in your bank account or whatever you're using as proof of fund, your application may be refused. So at the time you are submitting your application, make sure you have that minimum amount in your bank account or whatever document you are using to show proof of fund. So for family of one, I'll put a box here to show. I'll put a box here to show the breakdown of the cost. So for family of one, that's if you are coming as a single person, you need a minimum of 12,300 Canadian dollars. For family of two, you need 15,302 Canadian dollars. For family of three, you need 18,825 Canadian dollars. For family of four, you need 22,856,000 Canadian dollars. For family of five, you need 29,936 Canadian dollars. And for family of six, you need 32,550 Canadian dollars. So if you have additional family members, you have to add 3,314 Canadian dollars per person. So if you are more than six, you have to add additional 3,314 to 32,550 Canadian dollars. Exactly. So that depending on the exchange rate as at the time of your application, be sure to leave enough buffer in case of exchange rate variances. So maybe if for single person, let's say it's about 3.5 million, you may want to add like 100,000 naira just in case there's exchange rate, just in case of exchange rate variances. How to meet your POF requirement. So if you are using your savings account, current account, or your fixed deposit account to show proof of fund, you need to have the money in your account for minimum of 6 months, and you need to print your account statement from the bank and make sure it is stamped. Some people just go to their bank account, maybe their application or the internet banking, just to download the form and upload it. You will get yourself a refusal that way. Make sure you walk into the bank or your financial institution, whichever one. Go into the bank and ask for your account statement. Let them print it and stamp it. And also you need to get a reference letter from your bank. The reference letter should include the date you opened the account, how much is theirs at the time, your name, the account number, the account type, and it should be printed on the bank's letter-headed paper, stamped and signed. You should also show the account balance at the time and be addressed to IRCC. I'll put a template here. I don't know if it's going to be clear, or I might leave a link to a Dropbox in the description so you can check out the sample of or a template of what your reference letter from your bank should look like. Also, you cannot use landed properties, house, cars, real estate and all of that for proof of fund. The only assets you can use as proof of funds are assets that are readily available in liquid form or can be easily liquidated. So you can't use real estate or houses as proof of fund, but you can use treasury bills, bonds, money market fund, and all other kind of investment that can be easily liquidated. Not, let's say, all other kind of monetary investment without you liquidating them. So if you are using money market funds, for instance, you just need to get your account statement from your provider and ensure that it is stamped and upload it in your application. If you are married and you are doing the application with your spouse and you guys have a joint account, you can also use it as proof of fund. Just make sure you get the account statement from your bank and get a reference letter from your bank as well. And if you are using the fund in your spouse's account, let's say I'm the wife now, you are using your husband's account statement. You are the primary applicant, but you are using your husband's account statement as the proof of fund. You need to do an affidavit to swear that this fund is available for your immigration, as per the money is not in your own name and it is in your husband's name. So you need to do an affidavit to show that, to swear that it is available for your immigration. And if you are using a gift deed, in this case, gift refers in this context, gift refers to any amount of money given by a donor to a donee without any expectation or without any consideration expected in return. So if you are if you don't have the money in your account as at the time of the application, you can get, if you don't have the money in your account as at the time of the application, you can get a gift deed from your family or friends. So all they just need to do is meet a lawyer or go to the court and get a gift deed that you attach to your application. So if you are using a gift deed, you don't need to upload account statement for 6 months. All you just need to do is submit account statement from the date the money dropped into your account and attach the gift deed from each of the donors in your application. Please note that the gift deed must follow the formalities in your country. So if there are terms and conditions, rules and regulations for you to get a gift deed in your country, please make sure you follow it, otherwise it would not be recognized. So that's pretty much it for how much it costs to come to Canada and the minimum proof of fund requirement. So thank you very much for watching. If you are yet to see my previous video, I'll link it up here. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so right away. If you enjoy watching this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share to your friends. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. God bless Nigeria. Bye.